We outside living proof. Prophesying this place up in smoke like that nigga Snoop. Same crackers had you in slavery telling you get a noose. We got them same crackers coming bowing down, kissing boots, licking dust. Come get with us and you get this truth. Don't ask why I don't go to church. Ask Dylan Roof.
What's going on? Oh, you got questions? Oh, you say you had a line up a list. You want to be on camera? You want to be on YouTube?
Yeah.
You want to be on YouTube? You want to get your 15 seconds of fame?
Nah, it's like, so I just been going through, I guess, thoughts and scriptures about free will.
Uh-huh.
So I fully don't grasp it yet. So this is my understanding of what free will is. That the Lord, the Most High, Yahweh, has full control of everything, and His will always happens.
Yeah.
On the grand scale, but on the micro scale, I believe we have free will.
In what way? So you can do whatever you want, pretty much.
At certain times.
So God doesn't know what you're doing.
No,
he has to. Oh man, I didn't have that in the room, book.
No.
I have to check. Hey, send an agent out, see what's going on over there. Let me see what's going on. Is that what you're telling me? So he's surprised at certain times?
No.
Somebody got shot in the head. Oh my God! What happened? That's not in the play. You're telling me that right now.
No, he's not surprised. He really foreknows and.
So does free will? Is free will something that happens outside of God's will? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Okay, so what's free will?
Free will is.
If free will doesn't happen outside of God's will, you cut yourself.
No, this is the only example, and we can go into the scriptures, but this is the only example I can think of. Like, if say you like milkshakes, right? Say today you feel like a strawberry milkshake. Tomorrow you feel like a banana milkshake. By the end of the week, the Lord put that desire in your heart to want milkshakes, right?
Sure.
Okay, so at the end of the results are the Lord's will. But the choices in between are our choices. That's the way I see things.
I mean, where's that verse at?
I mean,
I would love to see a verse.
We can go to the scripture of choices.
Yeah, I mean, show me. Give me Deuteronomy 30. Because I'm going to show you a cold dynamic with the Most High set us up all the way back in the wilderness. What you got?
First of all, I wanted a definition of free will. It's a voluntary proceeding from the will, from the will or from one's own choice or consent, of self-determining, capable of deciding one's own act, decided by choice or alternative or possibilities, acting or done of one's own free will or obligation, without valuable consideration or legal obligation. So.
Okay, I agree with that.
So that's what free will is.
Sure.
Okay, so.
But we already agreed free will doesn't happen outside of God's will. So you'd have to start saying that. Well, I see what you're saying. You're saying that the milkshake, God put the spirit of buying a milkshake on you, but the flavor was your own. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay, I need an example of that in the Bible, though.
I mean, let me see. Okay, so.
And give me Isaiah. I think it's 64.
All right, so.
Why is that made us on earth?
So Exodus 21:5, when you have a servant and he's free to go, it says, and if the servant say plainly, I love my master, my wife, and my children, and I will not go free. That was his choice. He said, I will not go free.
Sure. So you think the Most High didn't know what he was going to do?
No, the Most High put that in his heart to do it.
Great. So the Most High told him what to do with it. Correct?
Yeah.
So it's not his choice. It's the Most High put his spirit on him to do that.
Here, this is a hard one here. 118.
You know what I want?
All right. So Isaiah 118, right? It says, "Come now, let us reason together. Though your sin be as scarlet, they should be white as snow, and though they be red like crimson, they should be as wool. If you be willing and obedient, you should eat of the good of the land."
Great.
So there, I see that the
That's
word,
Isaiah, right?
yeah, Isaiah 1:18 and 19. It says, if you be willing and obedient.
Uh-huh.
So that's giving us that choice to be obedient.
Are you sure?
That's the
'Cause
way
I'm going to go to Deuteronomy and cut all that.
Okay.
Give me Deuteronomy 30. Start at verse 1. Let's just read verse 1. Because it's cold. Because the Most High already had it in our plans to go off from jump. Read.
Deuteronomy 30 for the...
Give me that in the Apocrypha, actually. Let me find that. Give me, where it talks about Adam. It's going to get real cold. Nah, no, it's something different. I'm going to find it. It's, second Ezra 4 and 30. Read.
Deuteronomy 30 from the top. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee...
What? Hold on, read this slow. Read.
And it shall come to pass,
Uh-huh.
when all these things are come upon thee...
Wait a minute. He's saying, when all these things come upon thee. So this is before we even come out of Egypt. Most High already said, all the curses are going to come upon you. But in 28, he said, if you do this, you're going to get this. If you do that, you're going to get these curses. So the Most High already put in the plan that we're going to go through all this in Deuteronomy. Read.
The blessing and the curse.
You're going to go through the blessing and the curse from jump. So Isaiah is just saying it as a point of... So when you get to Isaiah say, oh, well, if you be obedient, Most High already said we're not going to be obedient. We have to go through this. And even when you get to Adam, I'm going to get the Adam aspect as well. Keep reading.
Which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind.
So you're going to go through blessings and curses, and you're going to remember, okay, well, damn, Most High did tell us that we follow his commandments, we're going to be blessed, but if we don't follow, we're going to be cursed. But he already said you're going to go through this. Read.
Thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee.
Yeah, so Most already said he's going to scatter us. Before we even got scattered, before we got to the land of Israel. This is Deuteronomy 30, 1 and 2. Read.
Verse 2. And shall return unto the Lord thy God.
So we're going to return, but in prophetic timeline. 3,000 years later. Read.
And shall obey his voice.
So they were going to obey his voice. Because that's why it's referenced in Isaiah, the first chapter. Even though we're crimson, we're going to be like wool. Because we're going to go through the curses all the way up until the prophecy of us returning to the land of Israel. That's already been set up from jump. Read.
And shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children. With
jump to 15. Where you at? 15, read.
Verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Most High set before us life and good and death and evil in the wilderness. Read.
Verse 16. And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments.
So he commanded us to do the right thing already. Read.
That thou mayest live and multiply.
Read on.
And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away, and worship other gods, and serve them, I denounce unto you this day, that ye shall surely perish.
You're going to perish, but what else?
And that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land,
Read on.
whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it.
Keep reading.
Verse 19, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you,
Read.
that I have set before you life and death,
So I'm setting before you life and death. Read.
blessing and cursing.
Blessing and cursing. I gave it all to you in one day. Do this or do that. Read.
Therefore choose life.
Choose life. He told us to choose life. Free will according to you. Read. Right?
That's what it sounds like.
But verse 1 says differently.
Yeah. Okay, so
Read.
And both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
So he told us to choose life. But in verse 1, he already said we're going to be scattered to the nations.
That's Deuteronomy 30.
Deuteronomy 30.
All right, so 28, he gives that the blessings and the curses. He says, if you shall hearken diligently. So why is he saying if?
He's talking at our level. Because if we think we have free will to do whatever we want, obviously in our own minds we think we do. So everybody will say it, but that's like saying God doesn't have control, because we already agreed that your free will is already dictated by God's will. Period. Everything you're saying after this is just, it's your own thoughts bucking up against the actual ideology and the fact that Most High, you're not getting nothing past the Most High. You're not going behind the Most High's back. Satan's not surprising the Most High either. Everybody think, oh, well, that's Satan's doing that. No, God already checked it on his box. If somebody gets killed, somebody on the ambulance right now, God already signed them up for that. However long ago it was, till today, they got signed up for that judgment. Give me that. Give me Isaiah first.
All right. Isaiah 63, let me start at 16. Doubtless thou art our father, though Abraham be ignorant of us, and Israel acknowledge us not.
Read on.
Thou, O Yahweh, art our father, our Redeemer, thy name is from everlasting. Verse 17.
Read on.
O Yahweh.
Oh, Yahweh, read.
Why hast thou made us to err from thy ways?
So, why is it saying that? This is Isaiah as well. Why did you make us to err from your ways?
Yeah.
He already set it up for us to, like in Deuteronomy 30, he already set it up for us to go against the will and the commandments and be scattered.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with the overall purpose of God. He has that in place on the grand scale. I'm saying on the individual scale. Okay, so 2 Corinthians 8 and 3, it says, for to their power I bear record, and beyond their power they were willing of themselves. So we have our own will.
I mean, that's Paul's words. So
Okay.
if you want to take Paul's words over the Most High, that's on you. I'm not taking Paul's words over the Most High or the prophet. So that's not a problem. I agree with Paul.
We'll go
And it also tells us to take captivity every thought that we have. Are we able to do that? We're able to do that, right? According to Paul. Take captivity every thought. Let's just say I see a group of women walk by. Damn, they all fine as hell. Like, I don't know if they're married or not. I could be lusting after a married woman. So I have to be like, okay, well, damn, I can't think like that. That's taking captivity a thought of lust and adultery spiritually, obviously.
And you have the power to do that.
But does the Most High already know I'm going to do that? He's sitting those women down that alleyway or whatever you want to call it, just as obviously so the spiritual aspect that I'm in. For His glory. It's all to His glory. People going off and sinning and all this other stuff, Most High already knows what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not about me, that's what Christians say about us keeping the law. Yeah. They always say that. Christians say, you're keeping the law because you want vainglory, you think you can do it yourself. No, the Holy Spirit's doing it. Yeah. I'm doing it in my own mind. Hey, I keep fringes, I don't eat bottled foods. You already know I've been doing this for years. I know what to do and what not to do already. But me looking at a woman, okay, that can be an everyday thing. Like, damn, let me make sure in my own mind, I'm not thinking about certain things because I don't know if that woman's married. I go online and see women, oh, damn, it's a hit or miss. But guess what? In Paul's letters, he's saying, take captivity every thought that you have. You know what I mean? But does that mean that my will is to go against how God wants me to think? No.
So who controls your thoughts?
I would say I do, but the Most High, ultimately, in my own mind, I control my thoughts. But in God's grand scheme, He controls everything. If you want somebody to get hit by a car, you might be driving perfectly. I'm at a stop sign. It's my turn to right away. Somebody runs it, stop sign. Hey, what the hell? I'm doing the right thing, but guess what? God had other plans.
Yeah. No, that's the way I see things. I see things like, okay, whether you walk on the left side of the street or the right side of the street, that would have been your choice on which side. But God is able to make things happen on either side. That's the way I see things.
No, it was God's choice to put that in your mind to go on the left or right hand side. That's what I believe. Do you think Adam sinned on his own, or did God put the spirit of sin in him?
I was watching that deacon stuff. So, the Christ was slain from the foundation of the
Absolutely.
Foundation.
What does
of the
that
earth.
mean?
That he already knew that we were going to sin,
Okay.
and he allowed
Did Adam
it.
sin according to that?
No, that was God's purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are big things. Those are big events that have changed pretty much history.
But did God set it up that way?
God said that though. Yeah.
Great.
It's like, okay, for example.
Just how Isaiah
like,
said he caused Israel to err, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a choice in that. If God wants you to sin, he's going to set something up for you to go down the path and obviously send a spirit on you to do something contrary to what the commandments are telling us to do.
Yeah, that's on a grand scale because Israel, he's saying Israel. He's not.
Well, I'm talking about an individual. Because plenty of Israelites were in sin,
Okay.
and multiple Israelites weren't in sin.
Let
But we all got punished together.
Let me show you free will. This is the way I see it. Like if I don't have nothing in my hand, right? If I tell you to choose which hand, then you're going to choose whatever you want.
Great.
The results is there's nothing in both my hands.
Okay.
So that's the Lord's will, the results. That's the way I see things.
No, the result is me choosing a hand.
Yeah, but it's your desire to choose which one.
But my result is based on the hand I pick, right?
Yeah.
Not what's in your hand. The result is me choosing the wrong hand.
No, but there's.
It doesn't matter what's in your hand. Me choosing the hand is God putting something in my spirit to choose the left or right hand. It doesn't matter what's in your hand. You're talking about the end result. I'm talking about the choice.
Yeah.
Give me that in 2nd Ezra. You have something?
Yeah, I had 2 Samuel in 11.
What's that?
It said.
11? What are you talking about? 11 and what?
No, 2 Samuel 24:11.
Uh-huh.
For when David was up in the morning, the word of the Lord came to the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, "Go to David, thus says the Lord, I offer you 3 things. Choose choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto you." So he gave him a choice of 3 things. And then he chose one. David chose.
Okay.
He chose a pestilence in the land.
And God didn't know what was going to happen.
No, he gave the choice, and God was able to work with it. That's the way I see things.
So you choosing a strawberry milkshake, God told you to choose that, right?
No, it was my choice.
How? But God already knew what you were going to choose.
It's like, do I want refried beans on my burrito or whole beans today? It don't matter.
I mean, it's pork and refried beans, depending on which ones you get, but I'm just saying. don't go off of refried beans, brother. But anyways, you just proved, you essentially just proved your own point against your initial thesis. You're saying God presented David with 3 choices, but he already knew what he was going to pick. So to you, on our level, I have a choice. But to God, he's already setting it up. So whatever's going to happen, he already had it planned that way.
Yeah.
So is it really a choice, or is it just you following God's will based on your individual thought process, thinking you have your own choices?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't my choice to be coming out here preaching the word 5-6 years ago.
No,
I was selling drugs.
No, the Lord put the Spirit on you to do it.
Exactly.
And you're doing it.
But it wasn't my choice. I said a prayer like, hey, show me your will, God. That's what I prayed to God one day. Fast forward, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It wasn't I didn't know what was going to happen based off that prayer. God already had it set up from how he said he knew Jeremiah in the womb.
Yeah.
He knows everything already.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I agree 100% with that.
So you think
But I'm saying on a
you
minor
think
scale,
like this is the crazy part.
Yeah.
I think I told this testimony before, where my mom came up to me one day before I was in the truth. She goes, "You're gonna make a big decision. You're gonna have a big decision to make soon." She's a Christian. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what the hell she's talking about. She just said it to me randomly. I'm like, what are you talking about? But then fast forward, what I just told you, God showed me the Israelites. Right after that, my boy, he up on the hill, pounds. Hey, it's time. In my mind, I'm like, nah. After all this time, like, this is what I asked for. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go towards the Most High. I already tried the drug dealing and all that stuff since I was 30-something, 31. But now I'm doing this. You think it was my choice to say no? I could have easily just said, oh, it's time to get this money. I've been waiting for this. But God already set it up for me to, for my mom to put that thought process or that basically that statement in my mind. So when the time came, I'm like, damn, this is what Mom was talking about. Most High put that in her spirit to tell me that how long ago before I came into this knowledge. So in my mind, right when it happened, I thought right to that. I'm like, this is what I was talking about. And God allowed me to have the spirit of, obviously I always had the spirit of, I wouldn't say righteousness, but I always thought about God throughout my dealings in the world. I was like, damn, like, God believed in hell at the time. I'm like, damn, man, I'm going to go to hell for this. You feel me? I was thinking about that. Even though I was doing what I was doing, I'm going to hell for this. I always had that fear, like, damn, and by the time I prayed for it, I got this information. I'm like, I'm not turning my back on this information now that my boy presented these pounds and pounds of weed. But a regular dude think, oh, I got a choice? I can put that on the back burner. I'm going to go up the mountain and serve these pounds off. I could have easily did that, but guess what? Most already had it in his plans for me to choose what I'm doing today.
Right. That's on the. I fully agree 100% with the major events in people's lives. If someone gets killed today, that was the Lord's doing.
Okay.
But
here's the thing. Here's the thing, and that's what I'm saying though. Let's just say you said the right hand side of the street and left hand side of the street.
Yeah.
It's your choice to pick what side of the street according to you, right?
Yeah. If it's sunny, like on one side, and it's shady on the other.
You're gonna walk on the sunny side, right?
No matter how I feel that day.
Okay, great. You got something? I'm gonna get. So here's the thing. Let's just say, like we on 16, we know what happens over here. Your brother got shot at not too long ago. Most High spared his life. He was walking with this brother, right over there. They were walking on probably this side of the street. Who knows what happened if they're walking on the other side of the street? Most High
Closer to the car.
Yeah, exactly. Most already had it set up for them not to get hit. But guess what? Somebody, not them, but somebody gets killed over here. Somebody did get killed by the Indians by, what, was it last year?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most already had it set up for them to get killed. But if they choose to walk on the inside of the street, it doesn't matter. The Most High already set up for a death angel to get them, period. No matter what choice they made.
Yeah, but
The time and place was according to Most High's will.
But there was no conscious choice on that. He was just automatically walking on whatever side. They didn't say, let me walk on this side.
Of course it was.
They didn't stop and say, let me choose this side or that side. They didn't make a conscious choice. It was automatic.
How do you know? They could have easily walked, because we're always on this side of the street.
We're on this side of the street, exactly. Yeah.
We're always on this side of the street. That's what I'm saying, though. Most times, it's a subconscious thing as well. I can, like, every time I get into my car, I'm expecting to start up. Bam. Go down around my garage, go out the gate, and go left, and then drive where I need to drive. Sometimes I drive different directions. In my mind, I'm like, oh, bro, I swear I always think of this. Like, I'm driving in the car. I'm like, I go a different way where I'm accustomed to going. I'm like, damn. Maybe the Most High had me go this way for a reason. That's the first thing I think of all the time. You know what I mean? It's just random. It's a random thought. Like, man, maybe the Most High allowed me to turn this weird-ass direction for a purpose. Maybe something that's on the main way I go might be happening right now. Who knows? I just think about that. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to turn this way because I'm so used to going a certain way. If I do something different, I'm like, man, Most High made me go that way. It's not me, oh, I'm going to choose to go this way. No, the Most High made me go that way.
Yeah, you're operating on automatic. That's what I'm saying. You're not making conscious.
But it's still a choice of mine to go this way, and after I make the choice, it's like, oh, Most High made me go this way.
Yeah.
It's my choice initially, then right when I do it, I'm like, damn, Most High made me do that.
Yeah. I mean,
so it's not free will.
That has happened.
That's my thought process.
Let me go to a scripture. Proverbs 1:29, right? It says, for they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof. Mm-hmm. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Uh-huh. So that's their own. And the Lord was offering a way, and they rejected it. They had the choice to
I read that already. They had a choice to reject it. I mean, that's just like Deuteronomy 30. I already said that. I read that in Deuteronomy 30. That's the first verse I read. Because Most already set it up for us to be scattered and go through curses. And blessings, yeah. We're going to go through the blessings in Israel, and then eventually He's going to allow us to sin, be idolaters, and be scattered. So all that plays hand in hand. From my point of view, it's my choice. But as soon as the choice is made, God bring the hammer down on you or bring a blessing to you, who knows? What you got?
God is the root of the tree, the root is already established. And we're like the stem of the tree. But every direction that you take in life, every choice you take is the branches that's already there. So whether you take this route or that route, it was already made by the root for it to happen. Like, it was already set up.
That's a good point. And that's all I'm saying. From our point of view, me turning left or right on the street is my choice. But as soon as something happens, or I avoid something, like I said, when I used to work in the pen and up in Folsom. I walk through the yard. One day, it's empty. The yard is empty. I leave, go home, turn on the TV, biggest riot in history in Folsom. I'm like, damn. Because sometimes the yard is full. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, I avoided that. Like, and there was a couple of days before that, sometimes there's people on the yard. 120 people. You know what I mean? I'm just like, hey, I'm just doing my job. There was one day I walked through the yard. As soon as I get to the gate, close the gate behind me, the alarm go off. I'm like, damn, I avoided something. Most High allowed it to happen because he knows ain't nothing going to happen to me because he'll set me up for right now. I wasn't in the truth back then. This 2010, 2011. I wasn't in the truth at that time. I came in the truth 2016. That's 5 years later. I'm in the streets. I'm blowing weed at this time, walking through the yard. But I was still praying. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I hope nothing happened to me in his jail. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, though, we can have our own thoughts. We can have our own decisions according to our own, what we think is our own decision. Like you said, us choosing a certain woman, us having a certain job, that's still the Most High's will. Because you're going to meet people, or you're going to get taught a lesson by certain people at certain aspects in time to further you along the road, whether it's for you to come to the truth or obviously to go turn back away, like you said.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with that, 100%.
You had something? Yeah. What else did you have?
17,
15. You got something else?
No, I fully agree with what you said. I'm saying those are major details that will change your life. What women you chose, what job. Those are things that are built into your life.
But did you choose that woman? Or did the Most High set that up for you?
The Most High set it up.
For you to choose her, right?
Yeah, but those aren't minor details. Those are grand
That
details.
is minor details. You can choose. There's a million women on the earth. What made you choose her? God put her in your lane for you to get with her for a purpose.
Yeah, and He moved my spirit to move forward with
Absolutely.
it. I know that's the Lord's doing.
Uh-huh.
But I'm saying, like...
So did you choose that woman? If it's the Lord's doing, did you choose it? You just said it's the Lord's doing. In a spiritual aspect.
Yeah.
So did you choose her? Because you keep trying to make a separation between you making a choice and the Most High having the grand scheme of it being a major monumental thing. That's not the truth. We go to the pizza spot every day or every Saturday. I might get a Philly cheesesteak. I might get a pepperoni pizza, beef pepperoni at that.
Okay.
I might get a chicken and peppers or whatever pizza they got.
It's what you chose, not the Lord.
Sure. Is it? Is it? Is it? Is
It's
it?
how you felt that day.
Sure. But the Most High allowed me to feel that way, right?
Yeah. Okay. You got a scripture?
Yeah.
I got some.
This is Sirach 6:10. Everything that happens was already determined long ago. And we all know that you cannot argue with someone who is stronger than you.
Talking about the Most High.
Yeah.
Give me that in 2nd Ezra.
2nd Ezra 4:30. For the grain of evil, for the grain of evil seed hath been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. And how much ungodliness hath it brought up unto this time? And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of the threshing come?
Yeah, so Most High already set it up for this to occur. He put that grain of evil seed in Adam, even though it was a quote-unquote outside influence by the quote-unquote serpent to beguile Eve, and then the wife come to Adam, and they both make the decision to eat the fruit, which is doctrine, obviously. You're familiar with that. But ultimately, the Most High already set it up for them to go off and disobey His word. We're seeing it, I have a choice to listen to this serpent or my wife, but ultimately the Most High already set it up for everything to occur to show that His power is going to reign supreme in the end, period. Because a lot of people don't see spiritual power in these days for the most part. But that's what's going to happen in the end times. What you got?
No, I was gonna say, I was going back to red letters. Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Mm-hmm.
So, if the spirit's willing, that's the Lord's will. That's the way I see it.
Willing to do what, though?
Willing to do the Lord's will.
Willing?
Yeah, the spirit is already built in you to do the Lord's will, but your flesh is weak. That's what you're currently.
Everybody's not going to be doing the Lord's will. There's people in church that think they have the Holy Spirit. They're not doing the Lord's will in there.
And they're okay. Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense. Their spirit, they have the ultimate faith. They go to church faithfully. They have more faith than most Israelites. Their flesh, they wouldn't say their flesh is weak. They say they sin all the time, but they're saved by grace. So what does that actually mean? If the spirit is willing and their flesh is weak? Because a Christian will take that a totally different fashion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but if I apply a Christian ideology to that, they can skate around that easily because they believe they have free will, just like you.
They believe complete free will.
Of course.
I don't. To me, it's like a.
You got to compartmentalize it.
Yeah, it's like I said, the major things are God's will. They will happen no matter what. But the minor decisions are our choices.
But God influences your choices, though. That's what you told me earlier.
No, he lets you do it. And
But
then
you just said-
he'll work with it and produce his will at the end.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
So you basically are saying, because I referenced you choosing a girl earlier,
Yeah.
and you literally just told me that this Most High put a spirit on you to choose her.
Yeah.
That's what you told me.
Yeah.
Is that's a major thing you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So a minor thing is a milkshake.
Yeah.
So what if somebody's allergic to that milkshake?
Then they'll find out the hard way.
But is that God's will for them to find out the hard way?
Yeah. It's like a little kid touching fire.
And is that a major thing to them?
It is.
So doesn't matter if it's a milkshake or a girl, it's the same thing.
Yeah, no, but let's say
It's major to their life.
you're not allergic to both of them, and that's just what you felt.
Well,
that day.
I'm supplying the same ideology though. If I want a milkshake and I want to get let's just say there's a new pistachio milkshake. You know what I mean? Actually, no, let me give a better example. You know how people eat noodle packs?
Yeah.
$1 noodle or pack of noodles?
Top ramen.
Exactly, top ramen. On the bottom of it, it says what? May contain fish or something like that, right? Some people are allergic to shellfish. Some people are allergic to fish. But there's no fish in that pack. It's chicken flavor. It's beef. But it's made in the same facility as quote-unquote fish products. Exactly, same equipment. So if I go and buy a pack of noodles, I read the package. This is the chicken noodles. Sauce packet. I eat it, cook it. I die of allergic reaction. Like, what the hell? Is that my choice, or is that the Most High allow me to think that it's okay to eat and then suffering the consequences later? Yeah, it's a small thing.
No,
For
that's,
me,
that's a big thing because
but
you're gonna
brother,
die.
you just told me that choosing a milkshake is a small thing earlier. But if it's allergic reaction, it's a big thing now.
Yeah, because you don't have control over your allergies. You don't have control over it.
Who gave people allergies then?
The Lord.
So if you listen, brother, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways, bro. You can't see. When I put it in a smaller, minute detail, but a bigger impact or a bigger negative aspect happens on a small detail, it's a big thing now. You can't do that.
Yeah, but back to
You
the
can't do that,
the
brother.
milkshake. Let's say I choose strawberry today, banana tomorrow. At the end of the week, I'm still gain pounds.
Great.
The Lord got His will done by
Which is what?
gaining pounds. If
Is that
was
his will? Maybe it's his will for you to enjoy a strawberry milkshake. maybe that's the ultimate goal, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can lose the pounds. You can run a lap right now and lose about a pound or two.
And that would be my choice.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
But it was his will to have you gain pounds
Okay.
too.
All right. So what will be the purpose of the Lord giving wisdom and so on? Okay. There's foolish choices and wise choices, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you choose what to apply at that moment?
Do I what?
Do you choose what to apply at each fork in the road, let's say? Are you choosing wisdom or foolishness? That's up to you.
I mean, that's subjective, because if I go over to these brothers over here, they're gonna think what they're doing is a positive aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know what they do. We know what your brother used to do, and a few of the brothers around over here used to do. They thought it was a cool thing. Listening to hip hop music where you shoot them up and sleep with other people's wives and sell drugs, that's cool.
They think it's cool, but in the back of their
Of
mind,
course it
they
is.
know it's stupid that one day they're on the
I
top.
literally saw, I was talking, I think I said this a while ago with the Conscious R one. There was an interview that these women were getting interviewed talking about, who would you rather have? A 9 to 5, a scammer, or a drug dealer? Guess what these women chose?
9 to 5.
Of course they did. What? These women didn't choose no 9 to 5. They chose a scammer or a drug dealer. They want the fast money. They want somebody to spend money on them. They don't want no 9 to 5 slow money.
Yeah. But the
So
one-
that's cool. So if I present myself as a drug dealer
Yeah.
to a woman, she's gonna be like, oh, he got a lot of money to spend on me. He can take care of me. That's what they would say. So you can't. That's a terrible way to put it.
That wouldn't be wise.
According to the woman, it's wise.
It's not wise. That's just.
But if I sell dope, and I'm driving a S600 Benz, and I pull up next to a woman, she don't know what I do. She might find out later, but she's not gonna care because I'm taking care of her.
She's a fool.
But she's having fun. She's having a good time. And I'm a fool because I bought a Benz, right? With drug money.
Yeah.
Or am I enjoying life with this drug money? And I haven't got caught yet. I'm not even touching the dope no more. I'm big enough to where I don't even have to touch the dope. I just make phone calls, have people do it, and I'm just reaping the benefits. Is that foolish?
I mean, according to the word, it's foolish.
But we can't do that. It's a choice I'm making. It's my choice, though, isn't it? It's my choice to be the kingpin and not be seen with drugs. I'm just getting payments every week from my compos, and I'm just driving around this Mercedes, traveling the world. Because I put in the work in years ago. I was a fool, but now I'm not a fool because I'm technically out the game, but I'm still getting money from the game. I can get any woman I want. I'm not a fool anymore.
That's what you believe, though.
Exactly, right?
And that's your choice.
Is it? Or did God allow somebody to make it that far?
He allowed you for a time, but if he wanted to take you out at any day,
Of course he
he's
can.
gonna do it.
Just like my friend got arrested today.
Yeah.
He got arrested. He's probably going to spend a lot of time in jail.
Yeah.
Was it his choice to go to jail? Of course not. He didn't do anything.
It was.
Or he was doing something. The Most High judged him, but his girl called the cops on him.
Yeah. So he chose the foolish way to learn the lesson that
Yeah,
the Lord.
absolutely.
The result, he could have. It's like the Israelites, right? They're walking out of Egypt for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it's only like a 40-day journey if they walk straight. But
Sure.
the Lord made them do all that for His purpose, to weed out and to.
Well, we were murmuring, and we were murmuring against Moses, and obviously the generation that was there, he wanted to kill all of them because he wanted to bring them into the land. Because only Caleb and Joshua made it as far as the elders, and it was a younger generation that made it at that time.
And also, it's like we don't know, I mean, Yahweh's will every day for us. Like, they're saying hindsight 2020. Now looking at that, in that specific story, we see why the Most High did that. You know what I'm saying? It had us wandering for 40 years to weed out the wicked ones and kill off a whole generation. They have the youngins from the 20 and younger. Those are the ones who are going to enter into the land. You know what I'm saying? So hindsight it's always 2020. We don't know the Most High's will every single day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't. That's where we. I still say that we have the
Psalm
choice
90,
to be wisdom,
you know?
to apply wisdom and foolishness at certain events, not on grand scales. I want to bring out this verse. Proverbs 1:29. For they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel, they despised my reproof. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Oh, I read that already, right?
Yeah, you read that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Pharaoh's heart was hardened. He didn't choose to have his heart hardened, did he?
That was to bring the Lord's glory. That's on a
Sure.
grand scale.
But he still thought it was his own choice, right?
I would say no.
So he knew the Most High was hardening his heart?
No, he didn't know. He was
Exactly.
the
So
way I-
it was his own choice according to you.
the way I see that, he was operating as a beast, like animals, like eagles.
That's not the point, though.
No,
The
that's
point
the way I
is
see
he's
it.
thinking he's operating under his own will,
I mean,
right or wrong.
I can't say it.
Come on, bro.
No, I can't say it.
Pharaoh wasn't operating his own will. Let my people go. No, I'm not gonna let your people go. You think he was saying that just out of spite, or did he enjoy the slave labor?
The Lord did that.
But did he know that?
I would say he knows what he's doing, I guess, but
No. Did
what he
Pharaoh
doing,
know that the Lord was put hardened in his heart?
He didn't know that.
So it was his own choice. You can't play a game, bro.
No, it's like I was gonna bring up that.
He didn't know the Most High was hardened in his heart, right?
He didn't know that.
So him saying no, not saying to Moses, no, I'm not going to let your people go, was his own choice according to him.
No, it was the Lord that did it.
That's not what I asked you. We know the Lord did it, but according to Pharaoh's own thought process in his mind, him telling Moses, no, I'm not letting your people go, was his own personal choice to say that. Right or wrong?
I'll say you're wrong. Because there's things in me that I don't want to do sometimes, but the Lord puts that spirit in me to make me do it automatically.
But you know the truth, though. We're not talking about you. We're talking about Pharaoh.
Even before we, like the instances you're bringing up. Of before
You're trying to run from the answer.
Okay, yeah.
You ran twice. I'm asking you a third time. Pharaoh not letting the Israelites go from Egypt. You told me that Most High did it for a purpose, which we both agree with. But according to Pharaoh's own thought process, he's saying no to Moses based on his own thought process, right? He's not thinking the Most High is parting his heart for a purpose. He doesn't know that at the time, right?
I don't know how to answer that because I'm saying.
You playing a game.
No, I'm serious.
You're playing a game right now.
I'm seeing that he was operating as a beast, like the beast of the air. Like
How do beasts operate?
They're on automatic.
They're mindless, right?
Yeah,
Are they
they're
mindless?
Yeah, they're automatic. It's on
So
automatic.
does the Most High control beasts?
He does. He programmed them that way.
Great. But does it control them at all times? Every moment of their life.
No, they're programmed.
Programmed by the Most High to do what He wants them to do.
Yeah.
So there's a story, because you're running from this question. But
I thought I answered it. I said I don't know how to answer it.
because you cut if you answered. Anyways, you're cut if you answer it. It's not a problem. But anyways, there's a story of a bear carrying a baby in his mouth. A baby somehow lost in the wilderness. Bear came back, had the baby in his arm, alive, dropped it off at the house. The people was like, what the hell? The bear could have easily just, little nugget, you know what I mean? Why did it do that? That's not the nature of a bear. Why would you say the bear did that? Why would the bear see a baby, pick it up in his arms, deliver it to the house where it was from? What made him do that?
The Lord did it.
Great. So that means he controls every aspect of the beast's life. They don't act like beasts at all times, right?
Yeah, unless the Lord intervenes. That's what I'm saying. Intervenes in our life the same way.
But is that the Most High's will, then? For a beast to do that? The beast did that based on the Most High's will, right?
Yeah.
But you just told me that beasts are already pre-programmed, and they're mindless, quote unquote. But the Most High allowed that bear to carry that baby in his mouth back to the child's mother and family. That's not normal behavior.
No, it's not.
So if the Most High wants an animal to do something, it's going to do it. No matter what it's already programmed to do. There's videos of dolphins. Like a pregnant woman fell into some water one day, and the dolphins, are smart as hell, by the way. But the dolphins like swimming around the animal, and like because it works off of sonar, obviously. But it's basically coming up to the woman's stomach and like nurturing the baby in her stomach because they can sense it. You know what I mean? Same thing. Like that's not normal behavior. You don't necessarily see that all the time because you don't see a pregnant woman swim with dolphins all the time. Because when that happened, they're like, "Damn, what the hell's going on?" Like they literally tending to this baby in his woman's stomach. But that's not normal behavior though. So we can say, okay, that's divine intervention, but at the end of the day, the Most High can allow you to be spared from a shark, a bear, a lion, Or this is how Amos says, I think it's Amos 5, where it says you can't run from that bear or lion. You're gonna get bit by a snake eventually. Most High will get you.
Yeah, so it was your choice to run from that bear and the lion.
Of course.
The will was accomplished through that snake.
Absolutely.
That's the end result. And the end result, I see that the Lord always has his will.
Absolutely. But the Most High allowed you to escape the bear and the lion just to think you're safe and then get bit by a snake.
Yeah.
And when you think you're comfortable in your own home, a snake comes up under that doorway and bites you and poisons you to death. That black mamba. You know what I mean?
So, Psalm
You got
1.
something? Oh, yeah. Psalm 9. You got something? Oh, yeah. Give me read this. Go ahead.
This is Psalms chapter 90, verse 9. For all our days are passed away in thy wrath.
Read on.
We spend our years as a tale that is told.
Do you give the text?
Yeah.
We spend our years as a tale that's told.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He told it because he knew what was going to happen.
Great. So whatever decision you make, most already knew.
He knows it because he knows what I'm going to choose. Like,
Exactly.
Like, for example, like, if I want to stand here or here, that's my choice.
No, it's not.
I don't know how.
We just read it. We just read you spend your years as a tale that's told.
Yeah.
Read?
For all our days are passed away in thy wrath. We spend our years as a tale that is told.
Yeah.
No
So,
matter where, no matter what you do.
let's say the tale that's
Yeah,
told
so-
is going to be, I was standing here on the corner and we're having this debate or whatever. It didn't matter to the Lord where I stood. If a bullet wanted to hit me, he's going to hit me here or here.
It's not true. It's not true.
That's just the way I see it.
Hey, that's the most I put on your spirit. I don't agree, read.
Job 33 and 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night,
Uh-huh.
when deep sleep falleth upon men,
Read.
in slumberings upon the bed,
Uh-huh.
then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction,
Read.
that he may withdraw men from his purpose, and hide pride from men.
You hear what that said?
I agree with that.
When you go to sleep, the Most High programs you what instruction He wants you to do, so He can do what for His purpose and hide pride from men.
Yeah.
So the Most High's purpose is going to be done, whether you think it's your decision or not. The Most High is going to put that spirit on you to stand here or stand there. If you're going to get hit by a bullet right now, or yeah, exactly, it don't matter. The Most High is going to set you up.
Yeah.
So it's not really your choice.
Down to the most smallest minute thing. It was put into your mind while you were asleep. That's exactly what it's saying right here.
I understand that, and I fully agree with that. I don't disagree with at all.
But you're trying to make it seem like small points of you standing here, standing there, walking across the street over here, or eating a milkshake is your choice when it's really not. It's the Most High telling you, hey, I'm gonna stand on this side of the street today, or walk on this side of the street today. Most High already set it up that way. Your choice is not your choice. What you got? I already read that. I read that already.
So I had this one, Psalms 103:19. No, 20. Psalms 103:20. Bless the Lord, you his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearken to his voice of his word.
Absolutely.
Why is he saying that if they're doing his commandments already? That, to me, that's implying that some people are not doing his commandments or will.
That's not true.
Am I taking that out of context? Or?
Well, you're putting your own spin on it based on your ideology. He's literally telling you what angels do, because you go to a Christian church, they'll think, oh, 1/3 the angels rebelled against God and Satan rebelled against God. Like, what? No, that's not true. Give me 1 Kings, what is it, 21? You know what I want? Start at 19.
1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left.
All the hosts of heaven, on the right hand side and left hand side, good angels and quote unquote evil angels. Give me Psalms. I think it's 68, or is it I think it's 68 and 49. Read that.
Verse 20, and the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead?
Read on.
And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit, and stood before the Lord, and said, I will persuade him. Verse 22, and the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
Read.
And he said, thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so.
Yeah. So the Most High told his angels, hey, who's going to persuade Ahab to put this word of false prophecy and a false prophet to have him go to this war and die? So that's when you read Psalms 103, they obey Most High's commandments because they're saying, hey, I want this person to die. Who has an idea what's going to happen? Of course he already knows. He's the one, it's obviously telling, who's this speaking? No, go back up to, I don't want to say it's Nathan. This might be, Micah. Is this Micah?
So I had a question about that too. That verse, I'll go on the prophet.
One of the prophets got a vision. What you got?
The Ahab, the spirits. So why didn't the Lord just make him do it without the angel?
Well, it's basically giving us a glimpse into how the Most High operates. Well, no, an angel did do it.
No, why didn't he just put it in his heart
What do you mean?
directly? Ahab to go die or whatever. Instead
Well,
having
first
the
of all,
angel-
because what Ahab was doing, he was going, because how we go to war, you familiar how we go to war in Israel? We don't just, hey, it's time to go to war, just run out, nah. We have councils, we go to the prophets, hey, like how Saul was going to the prophets.
Sometimes we even went to the priests.
Yeah, exactly. Saul was going to the prophets, hey, we about to go fight these Philistines, but the Most High wasn't dealing with them. Prophet was like, hey, the Most High ain't dealing with you. So he went to go see a seer, right? You familiar with that? He went to the person that called up Samuel from the spirit world. Why he did that? Because the prophets weren't dealing with Saul. And the Most High wasn't going to give him no answer. So same thing is happening here. So he's giving you a glimpse into what's happening. Hey, I want Ahab to die. I want a prophet that he goes to give him a false prophecy. And that's what he did. He allowed an evil angel to possess a prophet that wasn't a major prophet, obviously. So we have hundreds of prophets, if you read the Bible. We have hundreds of prophets. But all of them weren't being dealt with like Jeremiah or Isaiah or Ezekiel, things like that.
Major prophets.
Exactly. They weren't major prophets. So he allowed an angel, an evil spirit, to get on that prophet to tell Ahab, hey, you're going to win this war, Ahab. Go out and fight. Ahab's okay, it's my turn to go. But instead, he sent an evil spirit to go put that false prophecy in his ear so he can die. There's a difference between, okay, me have my own thoughts, me the king of Israel, hey, let's go to war. We're like, bro, that's not how we operate. We don't do it that way. So it could have been easy, most I put a spirit on him, but he put a spirit on the false prophecy that he was looking for answers for. That's why it's different. You know what I mean? What you got?
And also, it's not only in that situation. That can be anybody in anybody's decision making. It can be the Most High sending angels to put that spirit upon you too, or even His Holy Spirit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not only just in that situation. And that's how the Most High works. His operation, He uses His angels for everything.
You got what I want?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's Psalm 78 and what?
49.
Psalm 78 and 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of His anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble
Read.
by sending evil angels among them.
Yeah, so when referencing Saul played that, or excuse me, David played that harp for Saul to get the spirit off him. But the Most High put the spirit on Saul, right? You familiar with that, right? Yeah. So it's the same thing. Like the Most High can put a spirit on you, and you can be like, damn, why I keep doing that? In my mind, I don't want to do that no more. Like you said, you don't want to do certain things, but the Most High put a spirit on you to do certain things. Why? Who knows? That's His will, right? You think it's your decision. That's the final nail in the coffin. If the Most High wants you to do something in your own mind, I'm gonna do this tomorrow. Sunday, like I went to SAC last Sunday. I'm gonna go to SAC. In my mind, things could have just went all the way left for me, my car ran out of gas, or check engine light, whatever the case may be. Most I could allow me to get pulled over. Who knows? Anything could have happened. But guess what? Most, like I said, me. I ain't gonna say this on camera. Never mind. I won't say that.
No, that's a good example of the gas part. That would have been foolishness on your part by letting it run out.
But I mean, that's not the point, though. The point is, my plan was to make it to SAC.
Yeah.
No matter what, I would have got gas either way. I'm not saying me not having gas would have been a stipulation for me to go get it, and maybe something else would have happened in the meantime, or for me not to get it, or me to get pulled over going to the gas station. Who knows? If the Most High didn't want me to go to SAC, I wouldn't have made it. You know what I mean? Get that sister a flyer.
Psalm 37:4, and delight yourselves in the Lord, and He should give you the desires of thy heart. So it's basically commanding, or like not command, I don't know if it's commandment or advice that David is saying, delight yourself in the Lord, He's going to give you the desires of your heart. So if you're not delighting yourself in the Lord, basically seeking His ways, your heart doesn't begin to shift and change the way the Lord will wants it to be. That's the way I see it.
But is that also His will?
That you're not delighting in Him?
Yeah. Because in the New Testament, Yahushua says, or is it Paul? Is it Yahushua or Paul, where it says, He already knows what you're going to say before you say it in a prayer. So He already knows what you're going to say. So it's kind of the same concept. The Most High already knows what you're going to ask for.
So you brought up prayer, and that's another thing of mine. So in the Lord's Prayer, right, it says, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Your will be done on earth as it is.
Exactly.
That's clear right there. Give us today our daily bread. Deliver us from temptation. That part. So why is there any temptations coming our way when the Lord has His will already operating through us?
I mean, the same way people got to go through fire and chastisement due to Him loving us. We didn't sign up for it. We don't know what's going to happen, like I said. But we know for a fact that, give me Hebrews, I think it's 12. And we read it last week. 2nd Ezra 7, you know what I want?
So,
7 and at the top, I believe, or is it 8?
real quick, I was going to say, temptation, the definition is a desire that you choose to act upon or not. So, I don't know if you heard that.
Hold on, where is it at? It says it in this. Yeah, that's what I want.
9?
Yeah, you read that?
2nd Ezra 7 and 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
Yes. You familiar with this chapter? Read. Hold on. Start at 6. Yeah, start at 6.
Verse 6. There's also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things.
Read.
The entrance thereof is narrow,
Read.
and is set in a dangerous place to fall. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left of deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
Yeah, so the kingdom of heaven is promised to the Israelites already, right? But we have to endure to the end, as Christ said. So the Most High is going to chastise who He loves. He's going to put us through the fire to try us as silver is refined, and refine us as gold, like it says in, I think it's Zephaniah or Zechariah. So that's why He tries us, because just how it says in, I think it's Sirach, the 1st chapter, or the 2nd chapter, how wisdom's going to try you by straight ways.
I need to go grab some.
Oh, do your thing. What was you holding? 12 and 6. Yeah. So that's pretty much the concept of free will. in our own minds, we think we have free will, which is, like I said, it's not a problem. But if you think you're operating outside of Most High's boundaries and will for your life, that's where it gets, that's where pride comes in, I believe. Where you think you can just do whatever you want. And obviously the Most High has to put you in a particular place for you to get judged in a righteous way or a negative way. It doesn't really make sense. What was you gonna say?
I was thinking, because you were talking about how how he controls the big things and not the small things.
Yeah.
But like all the small shit leads to big things.
Exactly. And that's why I said if I drink this milkshake or if I get this packet of noodles, but we know there's no fish in it, but I'm allergic to fish, but it's made in a factory with fish in it, it's my choice, quote unquote, to eat it. But the Most High might set you up to get an allergic reaction. You know what I mean?
Because I was thinking like every little.
But that's a small choice according to him.
Small choice. I was thinking like every time he gets like guacamole.
Listen,
that's leading to.
You might think you go to a vegan restaurant or what's it called, an organic banana or whatever the case may be. You might get food poisoning. It's a small thing, right? But guess what? You still got food poisoning, which is a big thing. You might put you out of work for a week. You can throw up and poop everywhere. You know what I mean? It's a small thing, but guess what? The Most High allows you to get that particular fruit and have food poisoning for a purpose. What's up?
But he was saying that we have choices on the small things.
Yeah.
Then he brought out Isaiah, where it says that we didn't choose the Lord. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
But we don't have choices on the big things according to him.
Yeah.
So how does that work with Isaiah?
Hey, man. Like I said, he didn't want to answer the question earlier about when I referenced the milkshake. Having an allergic reaction to a milkshake because he knew. I actually know the Pharaoh one too. He was cut. Your brother was cut. I'm like, dude, see, that's the thing, bro. Like, you can't be. The word of God got to stand true, man. The words that are coming in our mouth right now, obviously, I'm thinking of them and I'm saying them, but the Most High's put His Spirit on me to say everything I'm saying. I don't know what He's going to come with. I don't know what anybody's going to come and say to me. I don't have all the knowledge in the world. I don't know everything in the Bible. I don't know all history. But guess what? The Most High allows me to know the right things to say, the right questions to answer, the right questions to ask, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? For His glory, not my glory. I can be the vessel all I want. I can die in a week. Who's going to lead the camp right is I. It doesn't matter what happens. I read the Bible and I believe every word out of the Bible. You know what I mean? I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree. What was you going to say? You had something else?
No. Oh, I was just going to say.
Oh, yeah, let's read that again. That's what I was reading, though. Read.
Oh yeah. So if this city now were to give, we're given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
Yeah, so we have to go through affliction to receive inheritance, which is the kingdom of God. So it says the righteous are scarcely going to be saved. You know what I'm talking about? I think it's in Peter.
And that goes back to Deuteronomy, because remember he said we're going to have to go through blessings and curses. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, looking back, it's always 2020, right? And it's for a purpose. We went through the good first, and then we were expelled from the land, went into captivity to prick our hearts for us to remember the good times that the Most High had given to us. You know what I'm saying? And then we were to remember the Most High in the lands of our captivities.
Exactly. And that's our job, because He allowed everything to happen for the Israelites. Because that's what Yahweh was referencing. He said, I think he said, y'all are looking for a sign, but y'all not going to get a sign. Y'all looking for the sea to split right now. I'm not going to give you no sign no more. That's why there's not real signs right now. You might see a blood moon, the Euphrates drying up, which is already prophecy, but we're not witnessing it year after year. We didn't know the Euphrates was drying up 3 years ago, 4 years ago, unless you were keeping up with it. But guess what? We see it now, like, they're finding caves underneath the Euphrates, supposedly. Like, what? Like, what the hell? But that's not something we're thinking about on a grand scale. Most people, we know, because we're the Israelites, we know the prophecy is going to unfold regardless how we feel. We don't know the time frame, but it's still going to unfold. But the point is, our job is not to work outside of what's written. We can think our own thoughts, but the Most High already controls our thoughts. He already knows what we're going to think, what we're going to do on a daily basis. So us going through affliction was already predestined. Just how it says in Romans 8, we're predestined to be conformed to Yahushua. We didn't have a choice. Just how you read to the other person earlier, how people are drawn to Yahushua. You can't just come to Yahushua. The Most High has to put you on that path to go through to Yahushua in truth, not in a Christian fashion. Because
Exactly, and in the Greek, that word draw means to yank, to
to
drag away.
Yeah, to drag off, drag them from the world over here. Some people think, oh, just because I'm not doing drugs and the Most High or God or Jesus, they say Jesus saved me from drugs and prostitution. Like, all right, I mean, that's fine, but you're still not keeping the law. If you're an Israelite, you're not keeping the law in the Christian church. You're still going to get judged. The Most High, it says that in Job, the deceived and the deceiver are the Most Highs. The Most High can deceive you to think what you're doing is right. That's what it says in Job. The deceived and the deceiver are the Most Highs, period. Like the sister came up here talking about Enoch. Like, all right, I mean, cool. You believe in that? Somebody introduced you to that. But I can tell you that's wrong. She tried to skate away from it a little bit because she knew she couldn't answer. She don't know that much, not her fault. But I'm just challenging her thought process. If you think the Sefer is the book with Enoch and Jasher and all that garbage, sure. I mean, I can only tell you what I know. And the proof that needs to be considered and you taking that on as doctrine. You know what I mean? And 30-foot giants, which is ridiculous.
Now, I was going to say, I don't know if you guys heard me earlier, temptation is defined as a desire, whether for you to act upon it or not. That's what it defines.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that leads me to a question of why will God be angry or have emotions if he knows what's going to happen?
Who said he has emotions?
It says it grieves the Lord.
Huh?
It grieves the Lord. Like,
Wait, hold on. Are you saying Most High has emotions?
I thought I seen some verses.
It does say that. It says Most High is angry, but that's the prophet talking to people. The Most High already knows what's going to happen.
So why is he angry?
We're his children. We disobeyed him. But he already said we're going to do that. But I'm telling you, he's giving the prophet what to write down to tell to everybody else, to let them know how the Most High feels. So it's not saying, oh, he's literally like stomping around, oh my God, like, no. Of course not. He's not doing that.
So,
it's from our perspective. It's from our perspective. Oh, we're going through this because the Most High is angry at us. Okay, damn. We got cast out, we got thrown into slavery because the Most High is mad. Oh, damn, okay. But in all actuality, the Most High allowed it to happen.
so
He's not going to be mad at something he already knows is going to happen.
So, I guess, like, gay people, right? They feel that's the way that they're born. That's what they actually feel. They don't feel.
Some people say that.
So
Some people were molested and things like that and transformed into that.
So would you say that was a choice?
And some people don't even turn gay in reference to that either.
Yeah.
Some people, not necessarily born gay, but some people be like over-sexualized or even under-sexualized. You know what I mean? But what was you saying?
No. So were they born gay, or was it their choice? That was my question.
How would they be born gay?
That's what they believe. A lot of them.
I mean, they'll say that, but there's no proof of that.
No, I know there's no gay.
I mean, they can think whatever they want. Yeah, they can think whatever they want.
There's no gay gene. I know that. But
people say it's in hormonal imbalance.
Hormone imbalance.
Yeah. That they're born that way. You know, like sometimes one person it could have two body parts, a female and a male part.
Yeah, that's like a
They're called
hermaphrodite,
heterosexuals
That's
no.
hermaphrodite, though. We're not talking about sexuality.
Oh, I
We're talking
okay.
now. You're talking about chromosomes now.
Yeah.
Some people are born because a male got XY chromosomes, but some people are born XXY. You know what I'm saying? And some people, that's what you're talking about. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about people's actual sexuality.
So my question is, did the Lord make them that way? And
That's what it says.
And should we be angry at them because the Lord made them that way? That's His will, right?
I mean, we could be angry from our perspective, of course.
It's our choice to be angry or not.
I mean,
And to act
I'm not mad at any homosexual right now. I'll tell them to repent. I think it's disgusting and abominable, but I'm not going around angry because somebody's homosexual. Like, all right, well, hey, I'll tell you to, don't do that. But, I'm not, oh, man, they're, no, like, that's not how I operate.
Another thing I was thinking
I
about.
love every Israelite. If they're homosexual, sure, I also love them. But guess what? You're gonna die. You're gonna get judged for that.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to. Judgment. Why would God judge if he knows the result already? Or he put the spirit on the person to act a certain way? Why
It's his
is there,
purpose. It's his will for him, right?
why is there judgment on the... Because he programmed them that way with that spirit, why is there judgment applied to that?
Because that's his will. There's balance in the earth. The Most High is a balanced God.
I mean,
A false balance is an abomination to God, right?
yes, but I can't understand that. Like, how are
But
we
other
gonna-
people are going to die for their sins as well. That's way less grievous than that.
But is it their sins or is it the Lord that made them sin?
Both.
I know Romans 9 says one was built for honor, one for destruction.
Yeah.
But
People were born and created to be destroyed. That's what it says in multiple places. Ecclesiastes, Romans. I think it says it in Peter.
Romans goes right into that.
Yeah.
It's very long, right here. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven,
What verse is it?
Romans 1:18, against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like the corruptible man, and to birds, and to four-footed beasts, and to creeping things. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this is the cause God gave them up into vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Likewise also men, leaving the natural use of women, burn in their own lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meant.
That part.
I understand that. It's just the words that say their own lust, their own desires, that the Lord gave them up to it.
Yeah.
So was it the Lord or was it their desires?
The Most High set him up for that.
So yeah, it's still not clicking. But
So you think the Most High just watching that, like, oh man, like they're doing this already? Let me just push them through the line. Like, you think is that what you're trying to say? Because what you're telling me is that they're making a decision to live a lifestyle, and God's like, okay, since you already did that, I'm just gonna make you full-blown LGBT or whatever the case may be. That's what you're telling me. That's what you told me earlier about the milkshake.
no,
The Most High put a spirit of milkshake on you. I just chose a flavor.
yeah.
So the Most High put a spirit of confusion on them. They just chose to act on it. You know what I mean? That's what you're telling me, right?
Yeah. That's the way I see it, yeah.
So God
They,
didn't,
they chose to act under...
but God
their-
put a spirit on them though. Just like you said. God put a spirit on you to choose a milkshake. You just chose a flavor. But it's still in God's plan, period. Right?
Yeah.
So even though you think you're choosing your own flavor, God put a spirit on you to have that thought in your mind to do that work.